everyone, I'm Amanda at the Vermilion Public Library, and I have another story time for you today. We will be reading The Mitten by Jan Brett, and this is a very well-loved story that is especially popular this time of year. I'm also going to include an activity that you can do afterwards with your children at home. I'm going to attach a couple pages that you can print off for the activity, and those will be attached as an image in the comments below. So let's get started with the book. Oh, and also after the story, I will tell you a little bit about a new program that we have coming up for preschool and under. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. At first, his grandmother, Baba, did not want to knit white mittens. "If you drop one in the snow," she warned, "you'll never find it." But Nicky wanted snow-white mittens, and finally Baba made them. You see on the side of the pages, these shapes are shaped like what? Can you tell? That's right, they're shaped like mittens. And as we read the story, you'll see in these mittens, it gives you a sneak peek about what's coming up next in the story. After she finished, she said, "When you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you still have your snow-white mittens." So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. Do you see it's right there? He's climbing up a tree. He doesn't even realize he lost his mitten. And then do you see in the mitten there's an animal in the picture? A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. There he is. He's crawling out of his burrow right into the mitten to stay warm. And then who do we see in the mitten here? There's a picture of a rabbit or a hare. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. Look, they're both squeezed in there. And see over here, we see a sneak peek at the animal that's coming next. Can you tell what kind of animal that is? Let's see. It looks kind of prickly. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. They're all fitting in that snow-white mitten of Nicky's. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. Did you know the owl would be next? Did you see him on the previous page in this little mitten picture? When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, you see those big sharp talons on his feet? When they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. You see, the hedgehog's little prickles are sticking through the knit of the mitten there. Here's our next animal. Can you tell what that is? It is a badger. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. You think he can fit in the mitten's thumb there? Maybe. It sure seems to be stretchy, doesn't it? It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. That mitten just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Do you see there's somebody's nose poking out over here? But they all seem to be fitting. Do you think the fox could possibly fit in? Do you think he's going to get in there? Oh my, what animal is that? You guys know? It's a bear. The biggest animal we've seen in this book yet, huh? A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as can be. But what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged too many times its size. But Baba's good knitting held fast. Baba made Nicky a very good mitten, so it just kept stretching and letting all those animals in. And that big bear must have fit in. Do you think the next animal is going to be even bigger? Well, let's see. Let's look over here in this mitten picture. What is that picture showing us? Can you tell? A mouse. That's a very small animal, isn't it? Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. Look, there she is. They're all snuggled in there. And look, on the sides you can see Nicky's noticing he's missing a mitten. He only has one and he is wondering what to do. He doesn't know all the animals are snuggled in there, does he? The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Ah, ah, achoo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. Look at all those animals. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten silhouetted against the blue sky. When the bear sneezed and the animals flew out of it, the mitten flew into the air. And then Nicky spotted it, didn't he? As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. She was looking to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. Looks like all the animals are going back and finding new places to snuggle up and keep warm. And there's Baba and Nicky, and he brought both mittens home, but do you see? Are they the same size anymore? No, one is a Nicky size, and one has been stretched to fit all those animals. This is a fun book with lots of beautiful pictures. I also included an activity you can do at home with your children. You can do it various ways depending on the age of your child. You'll see in the comments below this post, there'll be a couple images that you can click on and print out. One of them is this mitten, and it does have some instructions, which is pretty much what I'm going to tell you now. But you can have your child color it or design it. They can work on their scissor skills and cut it out, or you can do that if they're very young and not using scissors. And then they also will get a sheet of all the animals that we talked about that crawled into the mitten in the story. So those can be cut out too. And then as you talk about the story and retell the story, maybe talk about the order the animals crawled in, you can place those on the mitten. You can put them under the mitten if you prefer, or if you wanted to print two mittens, once you printed two and cut them out, you could use a hole punch. You can't see all the holes there, but if you use a hole punch and punch along here, you can take a piece of yarn. You can take a piece of yarn and wrap a little bit of tape around the end. That makes it easier for lacing, and you can let your child lace in and out and lace those two mittens together, leaving this edge open, and making a little pocket, so the rest will be stitched together however they want, whether it's around the edge or just in and out. It's good practice for them with their fine motor skills, and it makes a cute little pocket that they can then slide the animals in. So it depends on how you want to do it. There's lots of ways to play around with this. It's just a great way to talk about the story, see what they remember, kind of further that discussion and enjoy the story together. Another thing I wanted to share with you today was telling you a little bit about a new program we have here. We've started a 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program, and it's a program that you do at home with your child or children. It's for kids preschool and younger, and the goal is to read 1,000 books by the time your child enters kindergarten, and it really goes pretty quick if you consider reading one book a day. That adds up really quick. You'd be done in three years. A lot of people read more than that, so that would be even faster. You can reread books. They don't have to be new books each time. They don't have to be library books. You can count books that other people read to your child. If you join us for story time here, whether it be in person later or virtually right now, you can count these books too. So let us know if you're interested in registering. You can do it online. Check out our website. Go to the library website and you can register there. You can call or stop in and we can help you. When you register, we'll give you all the information. You also get a fun little book bag for your child, and it's just a great way to keep moving forward, getting all those books read and really enjoying that time together. So we hope you consider joining us in that program, and we will see you next time. Bye!